Let's do this again. As the director would say, take two. All right. But are you walking in your God given purpose? But your bank account just doesn't agree with that. But here's what nobody is telling you: there's a reason why your purpose hasn't paid off yet, and it's deeper than you may think. And over the next several weeks, I'm going to expose to you what's really going on and hopefully help educate you so that you can understand what's really happening and how to make the alignment and the connection. And so I want to welcome you again, and thanks for joining me for another episode of Living Each Day on Purpose, where I encourage you to make each day count and embrace your God-given potential. I'm BA, and I'm the founder of the Cedar Method, where we help you clarify your vision, align with your calling, and turn your passion into profit for a freedom lifestyle. And in today's broadcast, we're going to begin, or we're starting a brand new series, which I'm going to tell you more about here toward the end of the broadcast, where we're going to be looking at purpose, provision, and politics, a biblical path to financial freedom. And I'm hoping that this is going to help you start aligning your calling with your coin. And this came about because I was asked a question a while ago, and it took me some time to really thoroughly dig deep into the matter so that I can address it thoroughly. Although I was asked it a while, I gave the individual who asked me this some feedback on it immediately. But I wanted to do a more in-depth study as well as a more in-depth, presentation for those of you who may be struggling with the same question that I'm about to ask that I was asked. And I recently got this powerful question from one of my viewers. And the question is this: does being in purpose equal financial gain? And I believe the reason that this question came up is because I work with purpose driven people, and many of them, including myself many years ago, did not see the financial returns in equivalent to what I was putting in and what I was doing. Because the truth of the matter is, not always does walking in purpose equal immediate financial gain, at least not immediately. See, many of us, we're walking in purpose. We're doing what we believe God would have us to do, what we're placed on the earth to do, what we believe our assignment is, where our gifts, talents, and abilities strongly lie. We believe we've got our hands to that. We're doing that as best as we can. But what happens oftentimes, we're serving, we're sowing, we're sacrificing. But when we look at our financial situation, we wonder, God, did we miss something? Now, if that's been you, give me a hand raise, because I know it's been me. I've often thought to myself in time past, God, I'm doing all of this. I believe I'm aligned. I believe I'm walking in all the talents, abilities, gifts, and skills that you've given me. I believe I'm serving, I'm working, I'm sowing, I'm sacrificing, I'm doing all the things that I'm supposed to be doing. But yet it doesn't seem on the money side that things are lining up. So God, did I miss something? Well, I'm here to tell you that you may not have. I know I didn't, but I had to align myself with what it is that He would have for me to do in the areas He would have for me to do them. So stay with me. What you may be experiencing right now is a part of the process, what I call Purpose is in the Process, which is going to be the title of my newest book that is coming out. But it's the purpose that is in the journey. And it's through the process and going through the process and understanding the process of the journey that we truly begin to understand our purpose. We truly begin to uncover who we are, why we're here, what we've been placed here to do. And while passion drives us, passion is our fuel that fuels our purpose. It is provision that sustains us. And God has already set aside this provision for you and for me. And oftentimes, many people give up on pursuing their passion. They give up on trying to live their life purpose because what happens is they don't have the provision or see the provision immediately in order to continue doing that. I know for many years, many ministries that I started, I did not see the financial increase that I had expected, that I'd hoped for, that I needed to actually do the work that I had been specifically in design and called to do. Not that I didn't do some measures of it. It wasn't the great work that I needed to do because the provisions weren't always there. And it wasn't until I started aligning myself that the provisions began to take place. But here's the twist. External forces sometimes, what I call the politics of things, often interfere. The things that we get involved in and pull away from. And I'm not talking about politics as it relates to some political party or some necessary ideology. I'm talking about the existence of the actions and activities in the world system around us that seem to always hinder the plans and purposes of God that we are pursuing. I was on a live with one of my spiritual daughters here a couple of weeks ago, and one of the things that came up on it was that oftentimes, we hear people say that the enemy tries to stop our plans. Well, he cannot stop our plans, but he can definitely frustrate them. And he uses the systems of this world in order to do that. He uses what is happening and taking place in the world in order to do that. Whether it's a workplace system, or whether it's a governmental system, or whether it's a spiritual system, or whether it's a natural system that is in place, whether it be our family, our surroundings, our network, our friends, whatever those plans are, those resistances, or the politics, or the things that delay our breakthrough and delay us coming into the manifestation of what God has for us. That's why I'm launching this new series where I'm going to show you how to align your purpose with your provision so that you can overcome these external challenges as they arise or arise and unlock your biblical path to your financial freedom. Because there is a strategy, there is a key, there is a method, there is a mean by which God has already provided for us that we need to align ourselves with in order to start seeing the types of increases He would have for us. And I believe more so than any time past, today is the perfect day and the perfect time for this to begin happening for both you and for me because of all the things that are already shifting and have shifted in place for this to happen. See, your purpose is bigger than a paycheck. And what you must understand is that the promise of provision still stands firm that God has made you in making sure that you have everything that you need in order to fulfill your calling and assignment in the earth. And this is the best time for you to do that. If you've been sitting on the sidelines waiting for the opportune time, waiting for the perfect time, waiting for the right time, now is the time more so than ever before. Stay with me because we're about to shift everything in your understanding, in your thinking, in your believing, and in your doing. And what has happened so far, heretofore, is believers have been dragging, they have been behind in fulfilling the assignment that God has for them because they're waiting on this to happen, waiting on that to happen, waiting on the right time for this or the right time for that or the right amount of money this or the right amount of money that. I'm here to tell you there'll be no right time for you to start doing what it is God has for you to do except for now to just start doing it. And as you're doing it, the provision will manifest when it's needed. So I want you to tap that follow button if you haven't. Tap that notification button so that you know when I'm going to be coming on for the rest of these series. If you're ready to turn your passion into provision, this is your season. This is your time. This is the opportunity. This is the day. Doesn't matter what's happening in the markets. Doesn't matter what's happening in the world. Doesn't matter what's happening on the world stage and the world system. Too many believers are getting caught up into that, and you're missing what you're supposed to be doing in preparation for that, what you're supposed to be doing in capitalization for that, what you're supposed to be doing in order to inherit that. Many believers have been taught that it's just going to happen. It's just going to fall into your lap. But I'm going to tell you that's not how it's going to happen because it hasn't happened yet and it's not going to happen that way. That's not God's plan or intent. Anyone, and we look in scripture, still had to put their hands to the plow and do the work of the ministry in order for it to manifest for them. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss this series. Trust me, you don't. Right now, your bank account doesn't reflect your purpose. It doesn't reflect your passion. It doesn't reflect what it is you believe you're called and set in the earth to do. But that doesn't mean that you're off track. It doesn't mean that you totally missed it. It doesn't mean that you've fallen short. It just means you haven't come into alignment yet with what it is you should be actually putting your hands to do and how you should be doing it. And when you do, the provision will be there. Now you have to take some steps. You have to take some measures. You have to walk out of faith. You have to walk in faith and walk out of fear. You have to begin doing and not just saying. You have to begin, actually taking some action step and not just praying and not just believing. There's many things that we need to do as believers that people haven't been taught and trained to do, that they just think by osmosis it's just going to happen and take place. And I'm here to tell you, beloved, it's not. The journey of purpose comes with testing, it comes with trial, and sometimes the delays are a part of your development. And we don't often see that the delays are not denials, they are a part of our development. It takes time for our character to be built and developed in order to inherit what it is God has for us, so that we can walk in what God has for us with wisdom and not waste it and not squander it. Are you with me? But make no mistake about it. God has provision for your calling. God has provision for your passion in order to continue to provide for your purpose. And if you're serious about it and you're serious about unlocking your calling and your coin, I want you to tune in to this broadcast. I'm going to begin this series this Friday night, beginning at 7:15 p.m. my time, which may be 8:15 p.m. Eastern time. I'm overseas, so clocks may be a little different, but I want you to tune in, set your reminder, set your notification, 7:15 p.m. this Friday. I'm going to begin that, and I'm going to go deep into that. It's going to be a 6 or 7 part series. I think right now I have about 5 or 6 lessons already prepared. I am still flushing out much of that, but much of it I've already flushed out and I'm ready to begin. I don't wait till I have a whole series packaged and put together. I have 5 or 6 lessons ready to go, and then I launch it. And as God adds to it, it gives me more to it. If I extend it, we extend it. If not, we shut it off. But I have more than enough to help you to begin this process. Because listen, if you don't get caught up in the noise and get caught up in the hype and get caught up in all the fear that's happening and taking place today and right now, it is the best time for you to begin capitalizing on opportunities that exist, that may not exist again. They may not exist again, but they exist now. And with the wisdom of God and with a strategy and with a plan and with some action, you can begin seeing it manifest in your life, so that you can begin having what it is you need to have to fulfill the assignment that God has given you. I don't believe we have much more time left. And because we don't have a whole lot of time left, we have to be about our Father's business, and we have to be about it now. And we have to get out here and start doing the work of the ministry. All right. Listen, I wanted to just come out and let you know what's happening and what's taking place and what's going to be coming. But I want you to tune in with me this Friday, 7:15. It's going to be locked and loaded and ready to go. And I'm looking forward to seeing you there. All right. And as always, if you've got any comments or questions, put them down in the link below and let me know what they are. If you want to reach out to me on social media or any of my other platforms, please feel free to do so. And I look forward to talking to you again next time. Until then, peace and blessings. God bless you. Take care and bye for now.